If you're stuck, if you don't know what's the right thing to do, if you don't know what to do, what decision to make, how to move forward, then pay attention to this video, because I'm gonna share with you 5 powerful questions that will not only give you clarity, and remember, clarity is power, but that will allow you to really connect to the truth, the honest answer that is already between you, that will allow you to get unstuck in this situation, to make the decision, to move forward, to choose, and to get things going in your life. So let's go. Now, have you ever noticed that when you feel stuck in one particular area or one particular situation, it can almost feel like every other area of your life is not progressing, not flowing, not growing until you finish or get unstuck in that particular situation? That's because energy is not fully flowing. It's almost like there's a clog in your flow of energy. That's because there is mental worry. That's because there's no movement there. There's no decision. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you lack the clarity. You don't know what you want, how to go about it. And that creates a stuckness. And that stuckness gets affected in everything else in your life. So resolving this situation can allow the flow of energy and new momentum and new things to come into your life. And not only it can affect you positively in this area, but in other area in your life that seems completely unrelated. All right. Now the challenge is that sometimes we are stuck. Sometimes we don't know what to do, what we want, what's the right decision, how to make it happen, and just what to decide. And it can be very frustrating because it creates a lot of mental worry, a lot of overthinking, a lot of procrastination, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of indecisiveness, and all of this, the more it builds up, the more you feel like, stuck between two things. The reason why we get stuck often, or why we cannot, or we feel like we can't get unstuck, we don't know how, is because we don't make decisions, or we are afraid to make decisions, or we don't know what's the right decision to make. It often comes down to the decision. And to make the decision, often what we need is clarity. That's why I'm going to give you 5 powerful questions to help you get the clarity you need in order to be able to make the decision, get things moving, get that momentum going, and moving that energy. But let's be honest, even if you decide that you know what you want, the reason why we don't go for what we want, or we don't make the situation, or we kind of, remain in this statu quo, is because we lack the certainty. That's why people don't make decisions, or they seek that certainty outside. They go and they talk to people, what do you think I should do, right? To try to get that validation about the decision that they think they should make. Certainty is knowing how things will work out, or that is going to work out, or that you will be able to handle it no matter what decision you make and no matter what happens. And when we lack that uncertainty because we cannot predict the unknown, it scares us. It scares us, it makes us try to control life, try to manipulate, it makes us delay for the right time and trying to control all kinds of things. So notice if you're feeling stuck in any area of your life right now, notice if you've been delaying to make any form of decision because you lack the certainty. That's the first thing I would invite you to do. Now, I'm going to share those 5 powerful questions with you, and I strongly invite you to take the time to pause this video, to write it down on paper instead of just mentally thinking about it, because there's some form of magic. When you write things on paper, the answer come out differently. You can just let it out, and then you can reflect on it. Whereas when you think about mentally, sometimes you have opposing thoughts that shut down the idea, or that tell you why you can't, or things like that. So I invite you to take the time to pause, okay? So the 5 questions are this. Number 1, if nothing you wanted was good nor bad, what would you really want? Notice that you can also tweak the question sometimes to adapt it in certain situation or context that is relevant to your life. So instead of saying, what would you really want? You could ask, what would you really do in this particular situation? So feel free to adjust or tweak the question that fits best in your current situation. Question number 2, if no matter what you did, nobody will criticize you, nobody will leave you, nobody will hate you, what would you really want? Or what would you really do? Question number 3, if no matter what you did, it would work out perfectly, what would you really want? Or what would you really do? Question number 4. If you already had the time, the money, and all the resources you needed, what would you really want? What would you really do about this situation? Question 5. If you were really honest with yourself, what do you really want? What do you really feel like you should do in this situation? Those are the 5 questions I really want you to take some time to write down. Those questions, you notice, are designed to make you think in different ways, different angle, different perspective. What you'll see is that often the answer to those questions is very similar, if not the same. And that is because it's guiding you to not only be bold enough to admit what you really want, because sometimes we know we want it, but we're afraid to say it. We're afraid of what might people say. We're afraid of how it's going to work out. We're afraid we don't have the time, the money, the skills, the talents, the ability. If that's the case, just be brave enough to admit to yourself, what do you really want, without worrying about anything that you need to do after that. Because just becoming aware of it will free a lot of energy. And that energy can be used into putting into action what you need to create that and make the best of it. So I hope these 5 questions really help you get some clarity, really help you get unstuck, get moving, get going in your life again. But remember, the most important for you is that once you have that information, is what are you going to do with it? Because if you just take it and then 2 hours later you're back doubting yourself, you're back thinking about it, you're back asking for a sign again, you're back meditating on the answer or waiting for the alignment of the stars, you are again shooting yourself in the foot. You are again working against you, and you're lacking the balls, you're lacking the courage, or you're lacking the certainty to make the decision and truly go for it. So notice if this happens and make a decision. Take one step in that direction and start moving that energy, and you'll see how things start to unfold the moment you make a decision. Because making an internal decision about something, this is what I want, as simple as that, can already start bringing into your reality the things that you need. If you have any question, let me know down in the comment. Let me know what come up after you do this exercise down in the comment. As always, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Be well.